Fine. All right, so I'm here with Kevin. He's one of my students in the NA10 mentorship. You've been in for probably, I don't know, 3 months, I would say.
Yeah, probably somewhere between 2 months and 3 months. Yeah.
2, 3 months, yeah. And what's kind of your background, Kevin, and what you're doing right now in business?
Well, it's definitely not technical, but I have been marketing for the last 30, 35 years, technology companies. So I'm not a coder, but I am pretty well versed and immersed in using AI. And so I wanted to learn from the best um, how to build agents because I know this is a direction that we need to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, coming from a non-technical background, there is a bit of a learning curve, um, especially when it comes to NA10. Like, what was your biggest sort of challenge or frustration before joining?
Um, well, the unknown probably that was the first part, right? I've had a little bit of experience with workflow automation before using Make, but I knew I needed to make that leap to N8N. Um, and probably just the humbling of it, learning, how each of the nodes work and really mapping out what I wanted to build. I mean, I have a pretty good idea on the workflows and how to map that out, but translating that to a tool like N8N or um, building the modules and nodes and configuring them, that's something I needed to learn.
Right. Yeah, and you said you tried a few of the things as well, some other tools.
Yep. So I have tried other tools, but what I really like about your program, Tom, is first you take the time and you have the patience to take us through on how to build, but you're teaching us the fundamentals before we get like how to put this down. I don't want to say paper because we don't use paper anymore, but it sort of is like that. But it's really thinking through the process ahead of time because we need to do that prior to building any agent or agentic AI. You need to be thinking through how the process, and then I really also like that you have an iterative approach, and that is let's get it up and working before we make it more complex and more complicated, and we add more bells and whistles to it. So that's another thing. The last thing, probably the third thing that I really like about it is while I'm in this mentorship program, is that you're actually providing us tools that I mean, it provides extra value out of it. So I might as well stay in the program because you're giving us gifts of other program or other agents that you're building, and then teaching us how you built them. So that's a real plus because the hands-on experience and really teaching us the fundamentals. Um, this is all the right way to teach.
Yeah, appreciate that, Kevin. Um, yeah, I'm always putting out more content and more workflows and more tutorials as the tools progress and as some of the students have use cases that I feel like I can build around. Excuse me. Yeah, what was there something that made you decide to invest? Like, was there something that when we spoke or that was like, okay, this is what I want.
I think it was I've been sort of put in the algorithm in LinkedIn into this sort of channel of everybody building N8N agents and out there, and there's a lot of people that are building them. But for me to take the direction was I've been looking for someone that could actually teach me on how to do this. And so then after looking at your program and you having the videos of how you're doing this mentorship program, it really made me the way you're doing it by giving us hands-on experience and then taking us through and actually teaching us how to make our own N8N agents with hands-on an approach like that. It's really been beneficial.
Yeah. Was there something that you were skeptical about before starting?
Uh, I don't think I was skeptical about it. I know that this is a direction that we have to go. So I know I have to learn this, right? I know and I can see where agentic AI is going um, and where the platforms are going and all the tools. And I see how this is going to affect. business workforces in the future. So I've already planned this out ahead of time, looking at our own org chart of all the agentic AI I need to put inside it. So you teaching us not only how to build, or teaching me how to build, but also teaching me the other things that I'm going to need, like MCP servers or RAG server and stuff like that. That's really going to be important things as I go forward, because I see the writing on the wall and where we're going to need to go as an organization. So the way you're teaching me is probably, I would say, is probably the best way to teach me, with hands-on experience and doing it, because I'm sort of one of those people that I break things all the time, and so I'd rather learn all the bad things and all the mistakes going through this, so that I get a better understanding overall.
Absolutely, yeah. Learn by doing is a big thing in the mentorship, because
Yep.
you can watch all the videos you want, but unless you actually do the thing,
Yep.
you're really not going to make much progress. I mean, you're not going to make any,
Yep.
honestly. Was there any sort of, I guess, aha moment or something that you went through in the content or on the calls that was like, this is
Oh,
this is
I'm getting takeaways all the time on the calls. So it's not something that, I mean, I am getting those aha moments all the time. But I would say that, and also learning with what the others that are in the mentorship program, I'm learning from them too. So, but I'd say probably the biggest hurdle was building my first agent, because that was probably my biggest stumbling block was, am I going to be able to do this? And that's probably what I struggled with. Am I going to be able to do this? I mean, I'm 63 years old and I've never been coding or never been doing anything that was, this technical. But when going through your program, watching your video and doing it, watching you, stopping it, building the things that I need to, and then getting on a call with you and saying, hey, I didn't get this, or I don't know how to do this. And you explained to me why I needed to do it a certain way. I mean, it just made it really easy for me to learn this stuff. And so, even though I'm probably 2 or 3 months into this, I can see going further, a lot further, because I really want to learn the rest of it.
Yeah, absolutely. What kind of things have you built so far? What kind of workflows have
Well, I built your basic one, the lead qualification one. That was the basic one, but that was really good for me to learn, because I had
yeah,
to learn each of the nodes. I'm I'm working with a separate person right now, and because I started this a long time ago, and I'm building a whole content management system. I'm taking the whole workflow of my content manager, who's been with me for 7 years, and we're taking it from an agency's perspective and taking it, from a creative brief all the way through to building a keyword strategy, a content calendar, AEO and SEO blog content, images for those blogs, and then having them all dropped into Google folders, so that they can be accessed by our organization. And this can be done in a matter of minutes instead of days or weeks that we were doing in the past. So that's one. And then I'm also building an advisory board right now, with people that are living and dead, the great business giants out there: Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, all the great giants, and even people that I'm throwing in there like Sun Tzu, where I'm building an advisory board, but I'm starting small with a few of them, and then figuring out how I could build this larger. But I think what I'm doing, and one of the things I'm thinking about as I go through this process, is how I can scale this and how I can provide this to others. Because I know if I'm building something here, that it's going to be good for my organization, or good for, say, even for myself. I know it's going to be a marketable tool that others are going to want to use as well.
yeah, yeah, some very cool use cases. I know we've spoken a lot about a couple of those. So yeah, if you had to describe the ROI on the mentorship investment, how would you translate that? How would you put it?
I would say I'm getting it back twofold or threefold or fivefold. Yeah. I would say that, that I don't even look at what the cost is of this, because I am getting so much in return with this program. So that's like, I'm getting in return learning a skill that I really wanted. I'm learning the right way to do the skill. I mean, we're finding now people, I mean, I'm seeing more and more agents are just like prompts. People learn how to do, well, have learned how to do prompts, but they haven't learned how to do it correctly. And so people are writing prompts, but you get an output every time you throw something into an LLM. So same thing with an agent. People are building agents right now, but they don't have the methodologies behind it. I'm lucky to have had 30 years or 35 years of business experience, which I can inject into these agents. And now I'm learning the fundamentals from you on how to build them right. And now I can take my business acumen, I can take your building strategy and methodology, and now I can apply both of those things into building really great agents. And then you put on top of it, you tossing other agents as you build them, what you're building, and you're showing us and giving those to us to use. That's fantastic. So yeah, the ROI is there, definitely.
Yeah, appreciate that, Kevin. And finally, before we wrap this up, if someone's watching this and they're thinking about it, or maybe they're on the fence, like what would you say to someone like that?
Uh, I'd say if you're going to want to be in the workforce in the future for any sustainable amount of period of time, you need to learn how to build agents. And I would say you're the right person to be teaching this because you do a really great job in taking us through this process. And you've had a really well thought out process and how the program's set up on school, how we can actually interact with the other members in the community. It's all really great at addressing the problem of getting us from point A to point B, learning us, teaching us a new skill, but teaching us the right way. So, I mean, you need to be in this program. I just can't say enough about it. It's a great program.
All right, Kevin, appreciate that. We'll wrap this up. Thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.